What up, though? OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny. I retired from the streets TV. I'm out here, really in the backyard, man, because it's nice. I just had a nice little session on my bike. Been riding that bike lately, trying to get my fitness back on, right? I remember being 17 years old, right? And I kept thinking, like my mother said, you gonna graduate from high school, because I didn't graduate because I got pregnant with you at 17. So when I got 17, that's all was on my mind. But I would have never thought, like, I'm gonna die at 17 years old. I'm gonna lose my life at 17 years old. In the headlines recently, you seen the road rage incident in Philadelphia with the young brother that got killed, 17 years old. In the Bronx, 17-year-old got ambushed by 5 individuals, killed him. A little recently, it's something about a 17-year-old in Akron, Ohio, at one of their schools, or something to that effect. Another 17-year-old is they charged him with killing a 16-year-old girl. A lot going on around 17-year-olds, man. And this story is no different. A good bro of mine called me this morning, and it wasn't good news. It wasn't good news at all. He called me. He said, "Bro, my people got killed. Somebody real close to me. I ain't gonna say kind of what relation, because I'm gonna keep his I want him to stay private, because I ain't no telling how this happened, what kind of street ties still tied to it or whatever. But young brother, 17 years old, get killed yesterday, shot, fresh out of juvenile, fresh out of juvie, and they killed this young brother, right? Senseless crime. And what's so crazy about it, in Detroit and then like the Midwest, period. I ain't gonna say no particular geographical location, but these young dudes is sliding at an all-time high. These young dudes is killing stuff with no regard at an all-time high. It's hard to really fathom. At 17, I had a gun. Yeah, I was carrying a gun. Nope, not proud of it, but you gotta think, my high school Murray Wright was called Murder Wright. We had just seen a few years before that my homeboy Chester Jackson murdered, in the headlines at Murray Wright. So they started calling him Murder Wright. It had a bad connotation. There was dudes that was coming up there from other hoods strapped up, and I knew my people, even though they knew I was carrying a gun to school, they would have rather me had it with me than without me. So it was just a different time, and I can't really speak to what these dudes be thinking about, because I ain't in that type of mentality no more. I didn't grow up with a phone in my face. I didn't grow up influenced by social media and none of this old wild stuff. And this music, most definitely, is different, because back then everything we listened to was like a blueprint for the soundtrack of the streets, to get you out of the streets, to make you more successful, to get you a way to vent and to deal with societal pressure. It wasn't like, let me do exactly what they saying. Let me go slide, because they talking about sliding, and then dudes that's really sliding started rapping, and this is too crazy. I want to play for y'all the brief news clip, right, that's surrounding this case. You might not be able to see it good because I'm outside, but I'm going to play it for y'all, and let's go. Let me get past the commercials, because I think y'all really...
News that we're following from Detroit's west side this morning.
That is where a shooting has taken the life of a 17-year-old and also injured 2 others. The shooting happened at the Glen Cove Apartments. This is on Detroit's west side. It's Fullerton,
really
near
see
Telegraph and I-96 area.
Still hear it.
Nick Monticelli is there with the troubling information that you've learned as investigators are sharing that this appears to be a targeted incident.
Yeah, it really is, considering the way that all of this played out. I'm going to step out of the way here. I'm going to show you that DPD now has a canine unit out here because they are still trying to find as much evidence as they can, especially they're looking for shell casings out here. There were so many shots, and they want to get a really good record of exactly what happened, how it happened, and how many shots were fired into this apartment. Now take a look at this video. You'll see here in just a moment that this is why officers think this clearly is a targeted attack, because the window of this apartment shattered out, and you can see all of the different bullet holes in the blinds there, which is an indication, again, that this wasn't just some random shooting. This was planned, as somebody or people, multiple people likely, either walked around the fence, scaled the fence to get into this apartment complex, knew which apartment to shoot in, and then started just opening fire through that window. Inside of that apartment were 6 people, and as you mentioned, 3 of them were shot. One of them is a 17-year-old that was killed. The other 2, 17 and 19-year-olds, they are all boys, all teenagers, that were hit, and again, one of them was shot and killed. What they're really trying to work on now is the motive. You know, obviously they can deduct that this was a targeted attack, but why is their big question. The commander out here at the 6th Precinct saying that they are throwing everything they can to try at this to figure out what happened.
We do have a number of
so now,
both homicide and also our gang intel units as well as.
So my thing is, who knows? 6 other individuals in the house, that's 7 deep. 2 get hit, 1 kill. Was Lil Bro the intended target? Or is it deeper than that? It's just so ironic that this young brother, and I hear so many times, dudes leave from incarceration, come home, and get killed. It's just tragic because this was a young dude who knows what changes he went through in juvenile. Who knows what kind of epiphanies he had, what kind of growing up he had did. And they killed this young dude, man. And it's close to home. Everything be so close to home. Detroit a wild city, man. A lot of cities wild, but it's crazy out here because it's a big city, but it's a small city. So many of these stories I come across be close to home, be somebody I know, be somebody I care about, date people, and it's just like, man, it sounds so cliche to say, when do it ever end? Because I don't think it ever ends. Let's be realistic. This been going on since way before we can even fathom being alive. I'm pretty sure people slide on each other and killing each other for different motives and reasons, right? The Bible is wroth with it. It's just sad, man. I just want y'all to protect y'all babies. I want y'all to be mindful of that. I pray that whatever comes out of this, justice is served, because even if this was a targeted hit as far as Bro is concerned, the young Bro getting killed, something need to be done. And if it wasn't, and it was somebody else that was intended target, and he was just a casualty of war, something still need to be done. I ain't no advocate for getting people locked up in prison, but like I said before, get them out of there. You understand what I'm saying? Certain things, dudes need to be hung by their testicles. You feel me? It's certain things that people do. Listen, you shooting in the house. Most of y'all they probably was some young dudes that did this. It's crazy when you find out some of these dudes that be doing this against these young dudes be 30, 40 years old, 20 some years old, trying to slide on the little homies. But even if it was little youngsters, man, y'all reckless, y'all what do you call it? Non-professional. You want to get somebody, you get out and walk down on them. You know, you gangster, right? And I'm saying this from a dude who ain't scared. None of that drama that dudes be bringing, and we gonna slide on this dude. Well, who is that? OG guy? I don't care about none of that. You hear me? What I care about is these babies. I die for these babies. That's a fact. I die for these babies. That's a fact. So if I die speaking the truth about these babies dying, 17 years old as a baby. I got locked up for my first bid at 21. Did 5 years, came home still pretty much mentality-wise a baby in a lot of senses, because my growth, my maturity had been stunted because I was in an institutional environment where I was bouncing ideas off dudes just like me. These are babies we out here losing, man. Babies. I can't say it enough. It's sad, it hurt. I cried when I first heard it because this is my family that's telling me this. And one of the last times this dude called me about something like that, he was still incarcerated, and we got on the three-way and we found out his mother had just passed an hour before that. So when he called me about stuff like that, I take it to heart, I take it seriously, and it's just something that's real tragic. I pray for my brother, I pray for the surviving family of Lil Bro. I mean, he's still nameless because he's a minor, and we're respecting all that. I just pray for the healing part of our people, man. And when I say our people, I'm talking about everybody who like-minded, everybody who trying to get up out of a situation and make their life better and do the right thing. Them are people. I don't care what color you are. I'm pro doing the right thing. I ain't necessarily just pro people no more. And this is why me and a lot of different religious organizations and street organizations don't agree anymore, because my viewpoint is broad now. I ain't myopic with my vision no more. I don't see things one way. I want to see all these babies live. Black, white, Latino, you feel me, Scandinavian. I won't care what they are. You feel me? I don't want to rant too long, because I can do that. Y'all know I talk my butt off, and I just want to pray, man. I just pray that everybody stay safe. The summer ain't even really kicked all the way in fully like it should. Ain't even got to the real hot days yet. And all this stuff is going down, man. Y'all be safe out there. Y'all protect y'all babies. Put on the full armor of God at all times. And I'm going to holler at y'all tomorrow for Let's Not Forget Friday, where I got a nice story for y'all, something interesting. But it's hard to even like get geeked up about that because this a sad day. OG Kenny, O_G_Kenny, I retired from the streets TV, man. I'll see y'all later. Be safe. Protect yourselves. I love y'all. I'm out.